Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you could purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a lovely K-Series 2001 Rolex Oyster Perpetual Day-Date. This is the reference 118239, 36mm in white gold with oyster bracelet and diamond set salmon copper dial. It is a gorgeous timepiece. On my 16cm circumference wrist, you can see it wears quite easily. 11.9mm thick with a sloped case flank. It'll easily slide underneath a dress cuff. And you can see 36mm in diameter. Two ways to measure it. Lug to lug, you're going to find it's 43.1mm. That's just the lugs of the case. But if you include the solid end link, the oyster bracelet on each side, it expands to a more substantial 47.8mm across the wrist. If you wish to accessorize with the strap and maybe try a different look, 20mm is the spacing between the lugs. Now the watch is perfectly sized. The original Day-Date was a 36mm watch, and today the Day-Date 36 remembers that original model and remains core collection Rolex right alongside the steel sports watches. So a wonderful reference to Rolex's past and still a flagship model in the current catalog. This watch bowed shortly after the debut of the new model Day-Date in 2000, and you can see the difference in that the hoods of the lugs are now polished versus the satin finish on the previous 5-digit model. Moving to the bracelet, it's a little bit unconventional, and this reinforces the watch's credentials as a sports watch, automatic and 100 meters water resistant, because you have the sports style, Submariner style 3-link oyster bracelet. Polished centers, polished outer faces, satin shoulders, solid end link, solid center link, and as you can see, removable links fixed by screws, including a half link that you can use for precise sizing. We have the Rolex crown clasp here. No oyster clasp. We have the crown clasp as you'll see on the President bracelet, but rendered on the oyster. It's an uncommon sight, and this watch is unusual in several respects, this being one. Pop it open, and you can see inside the old style clasp. We're looking back to the year 2001 now, so this watch is a little bit nostalgic, almost a vintage timepiece. Before you know it, this is going to be 2 decades old and we're into vintage territory. I like modern watches, and this watch splits the difference between vintage and contemporary because it requires no compromises. You've got a 3155 movement on the inside, full balance bridge, free sprung index for shock resistance, handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring to allow the watch to keep excellent time via concentric beating of the hairspring in any position on your wrist, on your desk or dresser at night, and of course in the COSC chronometer test. The watch beaten away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, pivoting on 31 joules. It has a double quickset for both the day and the date, as well as hacking or stop seconds. And of course, the watch with the screw-down Rolex twin lock crown. You can see the double-digit dots, letting you know that this is a twin lock crown in gold, making this 100 meters water resistant. What's protected? Well, inboard of the lovely, and as you can see, still fully defined and sharply intact white gold bezel, you have a lovely salmon copper dial. And let's take a quick look at what you're getting here, because it's not just salmon copper, it is a sunburst with an explosive sunray pattern of graining that radiates out like the sun from the cannon pinion under the white gold hands. You have diamonds for the indices, and they are set on white gold indices, so you have both white gold and diamonds on this dial. It's a tasteful use of diamonds on a men's watch and quite discreet. There is a small railroad style minutes and seconds track outboard with stylized Roman numerals outside each index, and then of course the Cyclops eye, a signature of Rolex models with a date to let you more easily read the date. White gold hands, you can see they're faceted down their center to make the contrast a little bit more pronounced and reading easier. A timepiece, quite frankly, that could serve you in any circumstance. This is a watch that can go in the pool. This is a watch that can be worn in the pool hall, but it can also be worn black tie at the office and of course for formal occasions. This is a watch that does it all. White metal and discretion. Did you think you'd ever use that word in conjunction with diamonds? But this watch, 36mm, pulls it off. See this Rolex Oyster Perpetual Day-Date and make it yours on the Watchbox.